I want to check back in with our Angelique Proctor because there's an interesting situation unfolding with Morris Brown College. We know that some alumni are upset over the reinstatement of the president there. So Angelique, thanks for joining us live. Can you tell me why are they so frustrated?
Well, good afternoon to you, Ariel. This 180-degree turn that the Board of Trustees made really has raised a whole lot of questions for a lot of people. People all across the country are talking about this because on Monday of last week, you had the Board of Trustees here at Morris Brown College to actually fire Dr. Kevin James, the president, and then by Friday of the same week, they rehire him. And so many people are wondering, well, what changed? What has been different from the decision that you made just a few days ago? And that's kind of where this group, kicked off. They are called Morris Brown College Accountability Now, and they've just organized within the last few days or so. They got wind last week when the President James was reinstated that he was coming back, and so they tried to get in front of it. They tried to stop it, but they were not able to. I've asked them today about how many alumni do they represent. They're saying about 300 people, and so this newly formed group is now saying that they believe that Dr. James should never have been reinstated, primarily because, according to this group, he has been investigated since November, that he was very much aware that he was being investigated. I've also been told that during that investigation, he was told not to come to campus here, not to post on social media, and to not have contact with the faculty and staff. And so in the middle of the investigation, though, the Board of Trustees terminated Dr. James, which really, caught a lot of people off guard, and a lot of people were unaware of this investigation that insiders are now telling me was going on. Now, Morris Brown Accountability Now believes that many of these employees that had come forward, former employees,
So Angelique, it seems like a really interesting situation. I heard your audio pop out just now, and I hear some ambient noise again. So it seems like you might be back. Can you try saying something for me real quick? I just want to make sure I can hear you.
Yes, I hear you just fine.
Okay, great. I hear you.
What I was saying is that this board of trustees making this 180-degree change has really, surprised a lot of people. And the people who are on the inside are now saying there have been a lot of complaints against Dr. Kevin James, and they believe that the board got it right the first time. Can we take a listen to what this gentleman had to say?
I believe that it's a failure of real leadership and fiduciary responsibility to have brought him back. From my experience on the board, that was the #1 mode of operating for myself. If I know it's going to negatively impact the school, it's not going to happen. I'm going to vote no. If it has the potential to grow into something that will negatively impact the school, it's still a no. So this is a failure of leadership on the board's part, in my opinion. I don't believe in sweeping anything under the rug. I don't believe that this action was taken lightly to let him go. I think a lot of thought and a lot of evidence was there. Bringing him back, I think, is a reaction from a position of weakness as opposed to a position of authority.
And so the question that many people have been asking is, why was Dr. James let go in the first place? What were the problems? And I talked with this Mr. Miller, who was a former board member, and he was talking about a lot of the complaints that he even received when he was on the board. He served for 11 years. He's no longer on the Board of Trustees, but he was part of the group that hired Dr. James, and he said when he was there, the complaints he alleges started rolling in, and they have continued. So take a listen to what he is saying now about what the problem really is, because in his estimation, it's a leadership style.
When it comes to solving problems around things, I think he showed an incredible amount of creativity and problem-solving skills. Incredible. When it comes to leading and developing talent, he's terrible at that. It's more of I'm the smartest person in the room at all times, and that's not effective leadership. Effective leadership gets the most out of everybody in the room. It finds out what this person is good at, and it makes sure they have the right things to be successful, not trying to get all of the accolades. So in my one-on-one session with him, it was, listen, you need to figure out what congruencies that you have between problem solving for things and leading people, and bring more of that to the leading people side. Additionally, I also let him know that he has to remember that it's not about him. It's about advancing the institution. No one person can do that.
So Mr. Miller actually had direct contact with Dr. James and said that he had suggested leadership training for him, that he went through the leadership training, but in his estimation, nothing really changed. Now, the big question is what happens now? Mr. Miller believes that many of these people who were formerly with the university who lodged these grievances and complaints may now very well file suit. And so he says he wouldn't be surprised if that is not the next thing that we see. I wanted to talk to Dr. James about all of this. I have been talking with him over the last few days. He initially said that he was going to be able to speak with me, but decided today that the accreditation revisitation that Morris Brown has in just 2 weeks is more important. He says he was busy with that, and he decided not to talk to us. But certainly you got to wonder, with all of this instability, will this affect their accreditation revisitation in just 2 weeks, so close to such an important date? So no doubt we will be watching.
Yeah, Angelique, you know, this is a very interesting story considering they let him go, and then why would they bring him back, especially since it sounds like a lot of people didn't appreciate maybe his leadership style or the way that things were run. You know, obviously there's always multiple ways to do something, but at the end of the day, if a group decides, hey, you're not the person for this job, it is rather curious why he would be reinstated.
You know, let me add right there, Ariel, that the board did admit in their statement that they didn't handle his termination properly, that they did not follow procedurally and contractually what they should have done. So they opened themselves up, I guess, at that point for possible litigation by Dr. James. So it's just kind of going back and forth, again, getting to this kind of instability, you know, all of these problems popping up. What kind of effect will this have when they revisit accreditation in just 2 weeks?
Angelique, thanks so much for joining us live and making sense of this story. I appreciate your time, and I'll let you get back to it, and we'll check in with you, of course, as things progress here on Fox Local.